Hey everyone, welcome back to Alf's Mustang Garage. Today we're working on our little 65 Mustang Coupe. We just painted this car and now it's going through its reassembly phase. So what that means is there's a lot of little things left to do on this car. So today, what we're gonna show you is a new instrument cluster bezel. This old bezel here is just faded and dull and could use a nice little fresh up. So that's what today's video is all about. If you're about to go through a restoration or just a general repair on stuff that's wore out on your classic Mustang, ordering the right part that fits can be overwhelming. So let me try and help you out with that. ACP All Classic Parts has been manufacturing reproduction parts for these classic Mustangs and other Fords for 35 years. We've been installing their parts on our client cars since we started back in 2018. I can tell you that they fit, they're high quality, they stand behind their product, and what more could you ask for? So whether it's suspension, steering, radiators, engine brackets, oil pans, interior stuff. You'll probably be surprised as to how many things they're manufacturing. Jump on their website, check them out. I highly recommend ACP Parts for your nice daily driving cruiser that you're building or just trying to keep on the road and out of the garage. Okay, just in case I haven't mentioned this before, when it comes to little things, especially the little things, I love these little ACP parts. I mean, we got a nice new clear lens, we got a nice new shiny bezel, and we're gonna give this instrument cluster a makeover. I will post links in the description for those parts that you can easily find them. When it comes to doing these instrument clusters, obviously I already have this out of the car. It's gonna be a lot easier to demonstrate how to do this with it on a bench. So pretty straightforward though. You have the back of your instrument cluster, you have your bezel. Here's another reason it's a good idea to replace these. They become so old, they just get brittle and they're just broken. I mean, this is a 1965, this is a 60-year-old car now. You have all these screws in the back. So you're gonna start taking them out one by one. Hey everyone, Future Alex here. If you don't need help with putting in the bezel and the lens, which I'm assuming most of you don't because it's a pretty simple process, but you do need help on the wiring placement and all the bulb placements, go to the 6-minute and 48-second position of this video and I'll show you how that's done. Okay, once you have all the screws out, this is pretty simple. Pretty simple how it comes out, at least it should. So the last thing is you have this little metal tab right here that's just folded over. We're just gonna get a little flathead screwdriver and pry that back and it should come right off. Okay, so the bezel comes off and you have a little metal plate right here in between the bezel and the lens. But there's your original instrument cluster, which will go onto the new lens and bezel. All right, to get the little plate off and then fully access the lens, you have one little set screw right here. Now this process is pretty dang similar if you're working on a 66. They just have a little different of an instrument cluster. They got the five gauge pod there instead of this long sweeping pod here. So there's the plate. This has probably never been apart before. Look at that. Actually looks pretty good for an original unit. A new ACP lens. Looks pretty nice. I think I'm gonna glove up on this one. I'll put a big old greasy fingerprint on it before I install the whole thing, and then I'll be staring at it once it's in the car and it'll be bugging the crap out of me. I'm gonna glove up this one. Okay, I got my bezel, I got my lens, went ahead and cleaned it all up so there's no greasy fingerprints on that. It just drops right in. It's got these little alignment dowels here, here, and here with holes in it. It literally just drops right in, just like that. Now we can get our original plate back in place here. It's got little tabs here on the end. All the screw holes line right back up. We can put the one screw set back in right here. Okay, this is in place just like that. Okay, so now we can get our original instrument cluster back into place here. So don't forget, you got this little tab right there. So it's just gonna slide into place and then just go like that. And now you're ready to put all your screws back in. Okay, well there's your original instrument cluster with the new lens and bezel. Pretty big difference from the old one that just faded with age. Okay, so I'm glad I got to show you how to do that bezel. It's pretty simple as level of difficulty goes on with working on these classic cars. However, I think maybe something more beneficial would be showing how they install and where all the wires go, because in the 65 they didn't have a convenient little plug to disconnect in the 67. So you have to just unplug all the bulbs and all the wires from the instrument cluster, and then having a nice detailed system as far as how it goes back in is usually pretty helpful. So let me show you how it goes back in. Okay, so on these cars, you're pretty much going to have a left side of harness and a right side of harness. When it comes to figuring out where everything goes, this is my go-to system, classiccarwiring.com. You can get a color-coordinated, laminated one-piece wiring diagram, and that will help you put all these systems in place. So let's start here on the left side, and we'll get her in. Okay, so it's helpful to identify what you're working with before you just go for it. So according to the wiring diagram, your blue with red stripe are going to be your backlighting. So there's 1 and 2 of those on this side. Should be pretty easy to identify. On the right hand side we have 1 and 2 as well. Okay, so you 2 on each side that are just for backlighting. So, okay, so then on the left side you have a fuel gauge. So you have right here, you have a high beam indicator, you have an oil pressure light, you have the alternator light, you have the turn signal indicator, only 1 on a 65, and then you have your temp gauge. That should help clear things up here. So over here on your 1 gauge for the fuel on this side, you're gonna have a black with green is the in for the gauge, and the yellow is going to be an out for the fuel gauge. And then your high beam indicator should be a green with black stripe, and that should be verifiable. Yep, green with black stripe right there, high beam indicator. So the only other one on this side is the oil pressure light. So looks like you have the green and black going into it. This is the one of the 2 or 3 actual bulbs that has 2 wires. So oil pressure is going to be white with the red stripe, and it has an in of a black with green. And then the white with red actually goes out to the sending unit for the car. So that's oil pressure. Over here on the right side, here's another bulb that has 2 wires. So we have 2 options there. You have a turn signal indicator and an alternator gauge. So which one is it? So back to the diagram, the direction indicator is going to be one circuit's going to be white with blue stripe, and the other one is going to be, let's see, direction indicator, I just had it, white with green. Okay, so that one is pretty identifiable right there. And then the other one, I'm assuming is going to be the alternator light. So you should have a yellow with black. Charge indicator light on this 65 is yellow with black, and then it looks like a black with green going into it as well. So we also have this little guy here. This is going to be for your constant voltage regulator. So that's going to feed your fuel gauge and your temperature gauge. So you're going to have a 12 volts in through the regulator, and then you're going to have from the factory a pulsed 5 volts coming out, or if it's been replaced, it's going to be a solid state. So you get your 2 backlights, and then you're going to have your temperature coming out of there as well. So that's going to be a, looks like a red with white coming out for the temperature. So when it comes to getting this in, you'll notice there's these tabs here on the bottom of these cars. When you're all said and done, you have to put that in first and then rotate it inward like that. So let's go ahead and get all your bulbs connected. So your backlights are going to be a blue filter, so you can easily identify where your backlighting goes right there. You have oil pressure light here. Obviously it lines right up with the oil. Same with the alternator, it lines right up with that. These 2 right here are going to be a high beam and a turn indicator, so there's those. And then of course your fuel and your temp gauge right there. So we're going to go ahead and start putting these in. So this one is oil. Oil pressure goes there. Here's a fuel gauge going in to the fuel gauge. Backlighting. High beam indicator. Second backlighting. Fuel gauge going out. Okay. This side, we have direction indicator, goes there. You have your temperature out, goes there. It's backlighting. Constant voltage regulator. Backlighting. Oh, there's also constant voltage regulator. Voltage regulator out, which is also out, or I'm sorry, in for the temp. So that means I made a mistake right here. Temperature out goes there. Temperature in goes right there. One more, alternator indicator. Goes right there. Perfect. There's all your wiring. Now it's just a matter of tipping this in and keeping all your bulbs in place, wiring in place. As you do that, it folds right up into the car with patience. That is the number one thing. So there we go. We'll get the speedometer attached. Usually I'll reach in from the back side and just attach it. It's a little easier when you have the steering column loose. Get the mounting screws in, verify everything's working, and you're good to go. Okay, well, hopefully that was helpful. Appreciate you watching, appreciate you being here. Remember, the links will be in the description as far as where you can get those parts. But yeah, keep moving along here on this cool little 65 coupe. So again, if you got some value out of the video, go ahead and give us a thumbs up. Click that notification bell, subscribe to the channel. All those little things do help when it comes to us making more videos, which are hopefully helpful for you guys. Okay, thanks.